Ganga is the subject. Operation Ganga, launched to rescue stranded Indians from war-torn Ukraine, is on in full swing. We just saw a meeting where the Prime Minister was once again speaking to a number of his ministers, at least 4, who are going to be flying out later tonight to countries in the neighborhood of Ukraine to help bring Indian citizens, including over 1,300 students or maybe even more, back to India. 1,300 rather have already returned, but there are at least 10 to 15 or maybe even more, 1,000 more stranded in circumstances which are less than satisfying or satisfactory in Ukraine, in some of the more destabilized areas of Ukraine. However, quarrelsome fight is breaking out between the government and, of course, the opposition, because the opposition believes that the Modi government's response has not been adequate. The BJP says, how can we even begin to politicize a situation over which India has zero control? In fact, many don't have any control. Let me bring in Sanju Verma. Sanju Verma, why do you have a problem with what the opposition is saying? Can you lay out your case? Can you hear me, Sanju Verma?
Yeah, Rahul.
Yes.
Can you please repeat the question?
Yeah, why have you taken umbrage at what the opposition has said, what people like Rahul Gandhi are saying, etc., etc.? What's the case?
Rahul, the case is as simple as this. Point number 1, the Indian government issued its first advisory on the 15th of February 2022. And while I'm all for standing in solidarity with our student community in Ukraine and elsewhere, the fact of the matter is that for whatever reason, some of these students chose to stay back and not adhere to the advisory sent. Point number 2, be that as it may, the Modi government is going out on a limb to ensure that students are evacuated. Since the first advisory, more than 8,000 citizens have come back to India. And the most important thing, people who've been saying that all flights are very expensive, the Indian government is bearing the entire flight cost, the cost of transporting our students to the various immigration checkpoints and border checkposts, be it at Romania, Moldova, Slovakia, Hungary, Poland, what have you. And when they land in Mumbai and Delhi, I'm saying this for the record, some of them who to travel, going forward to their respective city, village or town. And if they are short of cash, they don't have funds, the Modi government is ensuring for their food, their stay, their onward journey. I fail to understand how is it that even during such a large global humanitarian crisis, Ukraine is in war zone, somebody like Rahul Gandhi, a sociopath, be that as it may, how can you say that the Modi government is busy doing Chunav Prachar?
Now, here are some hard facts. Fair enough. Mamata Banerjee has come out and said our government has set up a dedicated control room at Nabana for helping students and people of Bengal stranded at Ukraine. She has also in this tweet come out and said that this is not an issue on which politics should be played. I wish they would take out the right particular tweet in that thread of 4. Few students will be landing, they're in touch, etc., etc. And the politics, she sort of expressed regret at the fact that there's politics. Now, let me tell you, viewers, in stark comparison to some of the world's greatest powers, you can remove the Mamata Banerjee tweet or get back the right aspect of it. We'll come back to that. But let's go back to some of the visuals of Indian students who are now in Poland and other centers being well tended to. Now, viewers, let me take you through the other examples. China has issued no travel advisories. No travel advisories and support mechanism. Chinese nationals have been attacked in Ukraine. India has done a lot more. United States claimed won't be able to evacuate its citizens. Asked citizens to flee using private transportation. 900 US employees are stuck in war-torn Ukraine without any state support. This is the United States, viewers. More hard facts. Let me take you through them. The United Kingdom won't be providing increased support. Embassy in Kyiv has temporarily relocated, directed nationals to follow Ukrainian authorities. So let them in the hands of a Ukrainian state that is completely stretched, is perhaps even underground. Germany said evacuation by German authorities impossible. Here 4 ministers are being rushed. Already 11,000 to 13,000 students have been brought back. German embassy has been closed in Kiev while the Indian embassy is working overtime. Viewers, Egyptian embassy has turned a deaf ears to SOSs with no help. Students cross border on their own. Nigeria, some Nigerian students claim been abandoned totally. Pakistan abandoned its citizens. Here, there is enough evidence, and I'm sorry I have to say this, that some of the students didn't want to go because originally when the advisories were issued, it was too expensive. Perhaps they were waiting for the cloud of war and the fog of war to clear, to give them a better perspective. Well, the problem is, viewers, that they didn't take the opportunity. Sanjay Jha, other countries have abandoned their citizens. The government is sending out flights, dispatching ministers. We've already been able to pull back, free of cost, students. What are you grumbling about?
Well, I'll tell you what I'm grumbling about. I think it's deeply unfortunate if we are going to now blame the students and say we issued an advisory.
Oh, come on, Sanjay Jha. Sanjay Jha. No, hang on. The students went there to study. No, 1 second. No, hang on. Sanjay Jha. 1 minute.
Finish.
Sanju Verma, 1 second. Let him finish.
They're brought back.
Yeah, can I finish my sentence?
Let him finish. The advisory was issued as early as the 16th, 8 days before the first strike. 8 days before. A long time, sir, to clear out.
Sure. Well, that, by the way, is a very counterintuitive argument, because by the same logic, I can ask the government, why weren't they prepared to airlift people if they were so sure that there is going to be a war imminent? So let us not try and be convenient with our logic. And there is a significant statement here. Can you ask this woman to quieten down, Rahul?
I'll have to lower your fader, Sanju Verma. Sanjay Jha didn't interrupt you. Please, let him finish. Okay, we're not going to go anywhere in this. I want to bring in General Bakshi, cooler head.
No, 1 minute.
No, 1 second.
No, 1 minute. I insist on making my point, Rahul.
Yeah.
I've been waiting to kind of make this observation.
Yeah.
There is a statement of a very desperate Indian student from Ukraine who is there on Priyanka Gandhi Vadra's tweet. You know what she says? She says there are Russian soldiers who may be abducting Indian women or women of different countries. I mean, this is like violent, it's ugly.
Let me tell you, 1 second, Sanju Verma, I'm lowering your fader. If you don't allow me to step in here, 1 second. There's also a statement on the 16th of an Indian student who came back and said, Fazul mein hame wapis leke aa gaye, advisories dal di faltu mein. There's that statement, I can play it out for you.
Yeah, but
So hang on.
Okay.
And I don't want to at any level pin this on the students, viewers.
Yeah, please don't.
But the students were given adequate time to leave. Other countries have simply abandoned their nationals, and we are talking about some of the world's most advanced democracy. General Bakshi, 30 seconds, sir. Quick response on this story from a completely neutral perspective.
Thank you. You see, let me tell you as a soldier, there is a shooting war on there. And if you want to be safe, I have been through shelling, I have been through mortaring, I have been through fire. Let me tell you as a soldier that the Russian pilots, the Russian fighter pilots, attack helicopter pilots, tank shooting at 1,000 meters, they will not be able to identify you as Indians. You want to stay safe. My advice as a man in uniform, former, please go to the railway stations, metro, undergrounds. Please go to basements. Please stay in bunkers wherever they are available.
Viewers, it's an unfortunate situation.
Do not step out on the roads right now.
Absolutely, it's an unfortunate situation. Indian citizens trapped. They had an opportunity to leave. Of course, it's all very confusing and one can expect them not to have. But now the Indian state is acting, and it has been acting over the last 4 days to extricate. And it's unfortunate that in our country, we once again are politicizing what is really a very sad and unfortunate and perhaps unforeseen eventuality. We leave it to that.